the whole rap scene and things like that in Australia has just taken off. And today, what we have is we've got a very special guest here. We've got Crook, epic rapper in the Australian scene. Crook, over to you. Introduce what's good, man. How's life treating you, and what's going on?
Oh, what's happening, man? KiD CROOK from Australia. I'm from Perth. Fair bit going on. Life's treating me all right. I've been staying out of jail. I've been staying out of trouble. So that's major for me. That's big for me as well. Trying to stay off the street and stay with my family and show them the right way. So yeah, actually, yeah, lots going on and life's treating me good actually.
That's awesome, Crook. That's awesome. So the rap scene and hip hop scene is really ramping up here. You're getting big. I think I'm hearing your not your name across the places is starting to blow up, which is like super exciting. And thanks so much
Yeah,
for being
man.
on the
Yeah,
Beats to
yeah.
Rap On podcast. We're super stoked about that. So maybe we can just start off with people trying to get to know you a bit. So what's the first thing you think that people should know about you that they don't know already?
Well, the first one is, like I said, I'm from Australia, but I've actually got Hispanic background. So my parents, they're from South America. So yeah, we've lived in Australia a long time, long time. I grew up here. And yeah, a lot of people don't know that about me. A lot of people think I'm indigenous, so the way I talk as well, I grew up with them. So, but yeah, going back to the music, I've been rapping for a long time, but since being in and out of jail, in the streets, getting into trouble, I never really got to release my stuff out. So now I'm putting the consistency in and putting that work in.
When people who aren't from Australia think about Australia, they think about all the kangaroos and stuff like that. Do you have many kangaroos over your? Tell them a little bit about that. Like, what's going on there?
Oh, well, we got kangaroos, but it's not like you just see them randomly jumping around the streets and in between cars and that. Like it's in the bush, so you kind of have to go out of your way to see kangaroos. You know what I mean? Certain areas they
Yep.
might jump out onto the road, but to be honest, it's very rare, man. It's really rare.
So it's not like these massive kangaroos that you see on YouTube, like the people
Oh, there's some big
watching this
motherfuckers.
from all over the world.
There's some big
Um, you
motherfuckers
know,
out there, yeah. Yeah, they give you a fight. They'll fight you straight up. They'll fight you.
we've seen some of those on. I don't know whether interested to hear it. Just smash the like button, drop some comments down there. If you guys have been in a fight with a kangaroo or seen a kangaroo, that would be interesting. So just coming back to the music and you, so you know, Cook, if you can take us back a little bit and kind of run us through, what was your first experience with music, and when did you first get into all of this stuff?
Oh, a long time ago. I'm 35 now. So I first started rapping with my brother. I started getting into music. We started beatboxing. We kind of went through the five elements like the beatboxing, the graffiti, the breakdancing, MCing, and the DJing. So we first started rapping when we was I must have been about 10 when I first started rapping. But I used to rap
Yeah, wow.
like music I used to listen to. I used to memorize the verses off that and then rap that. So that's how I started. And then off that, I learned how to write a bit and then got my own flow, got my own techniques. And yeah, man. So yeah, since I was 10, so that's a good 25 years.
When you go into this, at some point you think, you know what, this is more than a hobby. This is kind of like what I am, what I want to give to the world. Did you have that experience? Tell us about that.
Yeah, man. Because where I'm from, like the hip hop it's big, but there's not platforms here to push the music out. So I've always wanted to do rap and then from there eventually build something to help other people that's been in my position that's never really had to check the help to push your music out. So that's a bit of a struggle being from where I'm from, and anyone that's from here will tell you that. Like they don't even play hip hop on the radio and stuff. So you know what I mean? So that's kind of what made me want to do what I want to do. So I can like put a footprint out there. But yeah, man.
And how old were you when you realized that, like, you know what, this is not a hobby. This is like me. This is what I want to do.
From 10, I'd probably say about 15, 14. That's when I took it a bit
Oh wow!
serious
So
and
you knew
started
really
taking it a bit more
early.
serious. And then when I was about 17, that's when I started like landing a few gigs and meeting more people. And to me, the scene was big. I felt like I was big in the scene back then. You know what I mean? There was a bit more going on back then with the scene. And then I went to jail, and then that scene was disappeared. So yeah, man.
Tell us about that scene. Like, tell us about those formative years. What were some of the awesome things that you were putting down?
I had a mate. He was running a studio called Galactic Studio. It was in Burswood, right next to the casino. So it was a pretty busy area. he had like an indie label which we were signed to as well. So he was arranging all these gigs, and rappers from America were coming over. We were getting the opening acts for them and stuff. So like all of that's a massive highlight for me, you know, because it's not something that happens every day. It's not something you can just go and do. So yeah, they were massive highlights for me. Like I've got photos there on my web pages and stuff, but I'll never forget them things, you know, like performing up on that stage and opening up for the person you're going to open up for. Like it's a big feeling, you know.
Tell us more about that, man. Like we see you, I'm just talking to you now, and I see your eyes just lighten up when you're talking about, like, what was that feeling?
Oh, that feeling was amazing. It was the best. I'm telling you now, it was the best. Because, like I said, when I got out of jail, that wasn't there anymore. So it was like from being at a peak and then starting from down here again. You know. So yeah, that it was wicked. It was wicked, and the people I met as well. Like some people I'm still in touch with, music like other rappers and stuff. I'm still in touch with, but oh man, some of my best years. It's just the only thing that sucks was my state of mind and what I was doing at the time. It didn't pay off for me. So that's the only downfall of that.
And when you were up there, like tell us some of the openings like you were doing, and like what's the sort of what sort of tunes that you were like throwing down, some of the bars you were punching in with.
I had some. My style was dark. My style was dark, gritty, street. I like to rap about what actually happens in Perth. Like not many people do that. I like to actually rap about where I'm from and what I've done and what I've seen and what I've gone through, you know. So yeah, one of the big ones was Snack the Ripper. He's a Canadian rapper, and he was pretty much new in the scene. And they toured with Onyx. He toured with Onyx, which they're legends,
Oh
you
yeah.
know. So fuck that. I think it was a 30-minute set I did. That was pretty big. And even after that, jumping back into the crowd and having people coming up to me like that, I felt like a superstar. You know, it was best. It was the best.
So good. What preparation did you do? Like when you kind of do that, I don't know. I would be scared shitless, to be honest. Like I'm not like you guys. I don't know how you guys do this magic. Like what's the preparation that you kind of go through before something like that?
Me, I like to like prepare by myself. I like to isolate myself, memorize all my lyrics, rap in the mirror, rap on the camera, record myself, look at my movements, and then learn off myself instead of watching someone else and learning off them. You know what I mean? I like to learn off myself. So that's my preparation stage. When I get lyrics or write my lyrics, I like to memorize them within. As soon as it's done, it's memorized. As soon as I don't like reading off lyrics, reading off pages and stuff. So yeah, man.
Do you have like a ritual you do before you get on there? You know, like some people go, they do things, wear the same
Pray,
undies. I don't
man.
know.
Pray to him.
Yeah, yeah,
Pray to him.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. No, it's a good. I mean, if you've got something to do, that's a good one to do.
Of course. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What were some of the biggest influences for you when you were growing up that influenced you around your style?
Musically, I like the fast shit. So it was always Bone Thugs, Twister, and then from then. But I also like the old school boom bap, Mob Deep, Onyx as well. Like I love that Wu-Tang. Like it was always that, but preferably the faster stuff. And then from there, I learned a bunch of fast rappers, but they're not mainstream because that music doesn't blow up. So we call that fast style chopper style. We call that chopper rap because it's like a gun when you rap, like you know what I mean? So it's called a
Yeah.
chopper style. So that's my style. And then yeah, I've been influenced through still to this day, Tech Nine, Twisted Insane, King ISO, all the strange music, Ritz, Yellow Wolf, all of that, still to this day.
Man, there's some good stuff there. Do you want to punch in with a couple of bars, or I'm sure someone wants to hear some. You drop some. Do you want to drop some now, or?
I've got something here right now, yeah. So this is
All right, let's
actually a
go.
feature I've got with one of my mates, but it's just my verse. I'll show you my verse because my mate's in jail at the moment, so it's not going to be out for a while. So I'll just give you a little look at that, all right? Okay. I never put my hands up, I'll be down for the action. Now I'm handcuffed up in the back of a paddy wagon. Pants sagging and maybe a warring in the game. If you haven't spoke about me, then you must have heard the name. Ain't shit changed, the kid's still down to rep. I ain't just a rapper, when you step, you better come correct. Stuff the neck, I'm about to check and I don't waste time. Boy, I got the weed to get him high, make him waste time. I'm always taking shit that ain't mine. Great minds think alike and now we're bound to rob him at the same time. Ah, something like that. You put me on the spot, man.
Oh man, that is so good. I was just trying to think, like, we just need some really fat beats to just
Oh
drop
man, the
behind
beats.
that, just to light up those tunes. Oh
Of
man, that's
course, man. The
good.
beats. The beats. To me personally, it's hard finding beats because I only like certain beats. If someone just throws beats at me, I'm very, very picky. If they throw 100 beats at me, I'll probably pick two out of those 100. You know, so I'm very picky with my beats. Like I like a certain style. It has to sound a certain way.
And do you work with like sound engineers to get those beats, or like how do you land on the ones you like?
Oh man, YouTube, and I buy them. I buy them before they sell.
Nice.
Yeah, because it's happened to me
Yeah,
before where
nice.
I've liked the beat, I've written to it, I've gone back to buy it, and it's sold. It's like, oh fuck, I should have bought it straight away, you know. Like, so I've had to like rearrange that whole song, rewrite that whole song, find a whole new beat, new. Oh man, it's a nightmare when that happens.
And do you ever work with anyone like, are there folks in around your area, or back in the day, did you ever work with like studio, I don't know, audio engineers or anything, or producers or stuff like that?
Yeah, I've been to this guy called Andrew Wright. He used to be, but when I used to go to him, he was called Gold Dust. He does really well now, but it's not really on the hip hop side. So I've found this new guy called Daunt, Daunt on the Beat, Daunt Studios.
Shout out to Dawn.
Shout out to Daunt, man. Go give him a follow. He's on Instagram. I'm pretty sure he's on Facebook. But yeah, wicked guy. I've been working with him, so I've been seeing going to his studio, working with him. He's been not trying to. He's actually looked into my style a bit. So now when I go there, he kind of knows what to do without me saying it. So good
Oh,
things should
how
come
good's
from there.
that? How much do you like punch in on the spot versus like drop bars that are kind of pre-written?
It depends. If it's fast, I might have to punch in once or twice because sometimes my breath will just. But sometimes I get it one go. Sometimes it's the slow ones I have to punch in more because I'm not used to the slow ones.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Yeah, you got
it could
yeah.
be different. Sometimes I might get it one take, two takes. Sometimes I might punch in a few times. It depends on the day.
Was there like a defining moment where you knew you had something special that, like people wanted to hear?
Yeah, when people weren't saying I was whack, when they weren't saying I was shit, when they were actually saying I was good, they actually wanted to hear more. They were asking me when am I going to release my own stuff? When am I going to drop videos? So stuff like that. That's what made me realize.
Yeah, nice. And did that happen when you were younger, or like was that like later on in life? Like yeah.
Nah, I'd say younger. Yeah, probably around the 15 mark, 15-year mark.
Really?
Yeah, man.
15. How good's that? So
Beautiful.
you're like dropping some flows and you're 15 and you already know. I mean, like honestly, that's pretty good. Normally, like a lot of people have to just take a long time. I think that's the difference between a natural like yourself
Yeah,
and maybe someone who's learning the skill.
yeah,
Do you think?
yeah, of course, of course. And a lot of people that I grew up with that were rapping from back then, they're not rapping to this day because it's hard here. Like I was saying, like you get so far, and you know you're not gonna get. You're only gonna get so far in Perth, in Australia. You know what I mean? Over where you are, Sydney, they're popping off a bit more. They've got a bit more going on, but Perth, we're really behind. WA is really behind.
Before you even kind of get to that, there's like this whole creative process that everyone goes through, right? And it's different to everyone. I'd love to hear what that is for you.
You mean as in like when I'm writing a song or something?
Yeah, yeah. Like, what's that whole creative process? You go through to be
Man,
able to
I
create
hate
these.
writing songs. You know why? Because
Okay.
I'll
Maybe I
find a
shouldn't have
beat
asked that.
and I'll fuck with it, you know. So I'll get into writing straight away. But sometimes I'll
Right.
get writer's block within two lines. I'll move on to another
Oh,
beat.
okay.
I'll get writer's block
Yeah,
within after the first verse. So then I go back to this
yeah.
one and it's like, nah, this one's not working. So I have to find a whole new beat to try overcome these two. And then, so that's my writing process. And that's no word of a lie. Sometimes it can take me weeks to write one song. It take me weeks to write two verses, but it'll get done. I'll make sure it's perfect, you know?
Yeah, nice. Is it one that's just like, 30 seconds and it's like it's out?
I think the fast ones are the features. Or if I'm a feature or if I'm doing a song with someone, I think they're the fast ones where it'll just come to me because we're kind of bouncing off each other. So it
Yeah.
kind of makes it where we're putting ideas in together. We're both contributing. So yeah, they're the fast
And
ones
when
for
you're
me
doing
that I'll
that, are you
smash those
freestyle?
out.
Oh, nice. And when you're doing that, do you like freestyle much, or is it, when you bounce off each other?
Yeah, well, it pretty much is all freestyle when you're bouncing off each other because you're just letting the
Right.
beat play and all right, we'll do this. Oh, this is what I come up with. You'll rap it to him and you quickly try to go off his last word or, you know what I mean?
Do you like try and throw in a bit of diss every now and then, or?
Yeah, of course. And me and one of the boys are actually writing one right now. It's not diss, but we're kind of like making it slightly funny where we're just saying dumb shit about ourselves, and just
Yeah,
calling ourselves names and stuff like that. So it's kind of like dissing ourselves, you know?
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, it's always good. It's always good. It's hard to do,
It
like
is.
not many people can do that, and
Yeah,
especially so fast.
yeah.
How do you kind of know when to say, right, I'm ready to drop in and great track out of this?
When I'm happy with it and when I want to keep listening back to it and listening back to it without knowing there's nothing to fix.
Okay.
Knowing I'm happy with
Yeah,
every
nice.
part of the verse, knowing I'm happy with the transition from the verse into the hook, from the hook back into the second verse, knowing I'm happy with all of that, that's when I know the song's done.
That's so good. And like the hardest part of creating music that like people don't see. What do you reckon the hardest bit is for you?
Oh, starting it off. Say, for example, starting the song off by yourself, starting that shit off. To me, that's hard. Yeah, starting it off, that's hard. But then also finding the time as well is hard because I'm a dad to two kids, and even just finding the time to do music is a bit of a struggle as well, because, yeah, man.
There seems to be like a lot of lessons that you learn real quick that hurt. What do you reckon some of the biggest ones are that you've learned in being in the music industry?
Fuck, not everyone's your friend. Not everyone's your friend, man. Not everyone wants your best interest as well. So those two, they're the only biggest ones. I don't think there's nothing else above that.
Yeah, right. And like, has stuff happened to you through that, or?
Not necessarily, but I've seen it. I've seen it done to people, and it hasn't happened to me. Like it's come close to, but I'm a bit too smart for that.
What's like one mistake you see upcoming artists kind of making?
But consistency, consistency is key. Even though sometimes you it's hard to find the time, but consistency. Even if you write two-liners, three-liners, four-liners here and there, that's that consistency. You can mix all those together later on. You can find something there. And also, another thing I want to shout out is rappers that haven't lived it and they try and rap about it. Don't do that. Don't do that. Because some of us have lived it and we've never seen you there. So don't do that.
Yeah, because you're right. Because like, there's probably like an authenticity thing, isn't there as well? It's like it's difficult to be like honestly authentic if you haven't kind of had those emotional experiences. Is that where you were? Is that what you were kind of thinking of when you said
Of
that?
course, yep, yep, yep.
And how do those? How do you feel those emotional experiences come through your raps and tunes?
Oh, man, sometimes I pull my heart on those songs, like recently I dropped, I think the second last song I released, it was called Save Me. I did it for Mental Health Awareness Month. So that was a pretty deep one. I poured my heart's on that one, I wear my heart on my sleeve, but my heart's on that page, man. So that's a good song. I like that song. That's pretty deep for me anyway.
Yeah, wow. Is that up? Yeah, where can they find that tune? By the way,
I'm everywhere. I'm through DistroKid, so I'm everywhere. Real KiD CROOK
awesome.
or just KiD CROOK. It's the same everywhere.
So go, shout out KiD CROOK. Crack open the browser, go check it out now.
Yeah, give us a follow. Give us a follow. I'm also
Follow,
on
shout
TikTok. I'm
out.
trying to hit 1K followers so I can start going live.
Let's do it, baby. Smash
Yeah.
that button. That's gold. No, that's really good. Tell us about, what you're doing now, what's on your mind, what you're super pumped about, like what do you want to get out there?
Oh man, I'm super pumped about this podcast right now. So yeah, and I'm
Oh, we're real
actually
humble
working on
about that. So
and I'm actually working on another album at the moment. It's almost ready to drop. I'm just waiting on a few features and just get mixed and mastered. But it's actually a 10-track album. I'm going to drop that probably in the next month or so. I've got another EP mixtape I'm going to drop, but it's actually an old one of my older stuff. So
okay.
that's called Dead Records. I'm going to release that. That's
Dead
a collab
Records.
with me and
What a
my
cool
brother. So
name.
that's actually dope. Like that's dope. That one. It's still got a new sound, even though it's old. It's still got that fresh sound that can blend in with today's sound.
Tell us more about this one that's dropping. You don't have to tell us everything, but use this platform because it will go on all the other platforms.
Yeah, of course.
Use
So
this platform
actually,
for a bit more.
my last EP, it was called the Bad Guy EP. I only uploaded that 2 months ago, I think. That's a 6-track EP. The funny thing about that, I wrote all those songs in jail to no beat. And then when I got out of jail, I
Oh
had to
wow!
find the beats. So that was
Oh
a
wow!
massive challenge, and it ended up working. I ended up finding the perfect beats for all these songs, and it ended up working like really, really good. So, but anyway, this next album I'm dropping is actually a 10-track album, not a little EP. It's going to be an album, mad features on there. Like I love putting people on. I don't like just having the shine. If I know talent, they're getting put on as well. So that one's going to be called Carte Blanche. Carte Blanche means like freedom, free to say anything you want, free to do anything you want, because that's how I'm feeling right now. I feel like I've broken the chains. I've gotten that weight off my shoulder. So this name is perfect for that album. Yeah, like I said, it should be here within a month or two. Keep a lookout for that one. It'll be everywhere. Like I said, DistroKid. So every streaming platform you can think of, it's going to be on that.
So what are you going to do? You're having a bit of a launch party or something like that? I mean, so first of all, after it drops, we're definitely going to do another interview, if that's all right, because I want to hear all about it. And I think actually, if everyone can also check the BeatsToRapOn website, because Crook will be on now. You can check him out as a featured artist. He'll be just hit the homepage there. You can see him there, and then go to his profile. So tell us a little bit about the launch party. You're having a launch party somewhere? Is there somewhere you can send your fans? What we're doing for that?
So I don't have a launch party organized, but I do want to do one. I'm actually getting my foot back in through the door, doing gigs and whatnot. I've actually spoken to a guy who does gigs, so I'm trying to link up with him and get my foot back in, get my name back out there properly, and yeah, get on stage and fuck, I'll rock that shit. I'll honestly rock that
Blow
stage,
it up.
man. Yeah.
So have you got many people? Is it just you in there, or did you bring some other rappers in there? Or tell us a little bit about, like, what are we going to expect?
Oh, yeah, there's going to be mad rappers on there. One of my boys that just got out of jail, he's going to be on there. There's going to be a few international features on there. The Spanish guy, he's viral on Facebook at the moment. He's not like a rapper or anything on the radio stations. He's just a viral rapper on Instagram and stuff. So I'm going to get him as a feature, which is fucking mad. My last EP had Seuss Mace on there. I don't know if you've heard of him. He's from Kansas. He's viral at the moment. He's doing big things. So yeah, I like to get my name out there. I like to do it properly. I like to put the OGs on, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Is there any shout outs that you want to do to any of your boys?
Sorry, I want to shout out my boy Diggy Dialect, doing big things as well in Perth, Australia. He's from Guam, he's living in Australia. Should check out our songs together. We absolutely flip shit fast as fuck. He's got a mad style. I'm trying to push him to do more shit than he can do at the moment. I want to shout out my other boy, Dodgy Wodgy, Simsy. I'm trying to put him on, trying to get him up in the scene. He's the one that just got out of jail recently. I want to shout out my brother. Go give him a follow. Tattoo artist out of Perth, Australia. The best in my eyes. Don't go anywhere else, get your tattoos. Go to Chris, my brother, Cartel Renaissance at Leaderville.
Yeah. Did you have anything else on your mind that you wanted to maybe talk about?
Oh, man. I got something, but I can't talk about it because it's something I'm working towards. So it's going to be...
We're all on the edge of our seat now, Crook.
It is going to be massive. But actually, I can shout out one more person, Gary Griffith. He's starting up a podcast. It's called The Sober Truth. It's for recovering addicts that have been through the system, been through the streets, been homeless, been through the struggles, been through all of that, foster homes, everything, all of that. So keep a lookout for that one. That's coming up on TikTok and Instagram. The Cold Truth, not The Sober Truth, The Cold Truth by Gary Griffith. So go give him a follow, and that's going to pop off. That's going to be massive, that one.
Gary Griffith, everyone. Go check that out. Gary Griffith, check it out. The Cold Truth.
It'll be available in about a week or so.
Go check it out. Details down in the description. Also smash that like button, and also make sure you check out Crook. It is going to blow up. It is going to be
for sure
huge. That is awesome. Now, is there particular platforms that people can find you on? I know we said there's a few out here. Do you have a Facebook? Do you have a TikTok? What is your TikTok? What is your Facebook? What are you doing? How are you ramping it up? What do you want the fans to know?
All right, Facebook. That's probably my biggest one at the moment. That's probably the one that blows up at the moment, my Facebook. At the Real KiD CROOK on Facebook, Instagram at the Real KiD CROOK, TikTok at the Real KiD CROOK, Spotify the same, YouTube the same. They're probably the main ones I use. Yeah, but Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, the main ones I use. Like I said, I'm trying to get to 1K followers on TikTok so I can start going live. I'll start interacting with everyone that wants to interact with me. I interact with all the comments. If you leave comments, I interact with everybody. I'm not funny like that. I'll talk to everyone. If you message me, I'll message you back.
Boom. You've heard it here first on the BeatsToRapOn platform, baby, where we are becoming the ecosystem to blow this whole culture up. So that's it. That's for BeatsToRapOn this time. Crook, any last comments before we wrap it up?
Man, I appreciate it, man. It's all love. I appreciate that big time. I had a great time. It was nice meeting you as well. And I look forward to working with you more.
That's awesome, Crook. Thanks very much. And we'll catch you guys later.